welcome back.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, welcome back to her as well. She seems to hang around here quite often. Anyway, we're back explaining a bit more about our coming documentary. We're planning to shoot this next year, and we'll be travelling around Malaya, or Malaysia as it is nowadays, but we're going to be following the footsteps of Isabella Bird, who wrote a book about her travels in Malaya in 1879. It's called The Golden Chersonese and the Way Thither, and I just like to use the word thither a few more times because it's such a wonderfully
Evocative word.
evocative word. Is that the word? Old-fashioned and pretentious. Right, and now we've done documentaries on the history of Johor before, and you can go and watch them. The hidden history of Johor Bahru and the hidden history of Johor Lama, all about the Johor sultans and how the state of Johor developed. And my wife here has written a journal about our stay here in Johor Bahru for over the past 6 years practically, and it is available. If enough people actually put in an order for it, we can try and get the price down because it's a print on demand.
This book is called My Johor Journal, and it's structured around the various questions Malaysians would ask me and the various questions that I would ask them.
That's the advert done. So where was her first stop?
Her first stop, Lawrence, was in Malacca.
Oh, right. Now, she went there and she found it extremely tedious, didn't she? She didn't like it at all.
Really boring place.
A really boring place. Now then, since in the 1870s, there was an awful lot of civil disturbance in and around Malacca. So I'm just wondering what had happened that had made it so empty, because she seemed to think the place had hardly any people in there, apart from a lot of Chinese, which she said it was a Chinese city. But then she starts talking about tigers roaming around the empty streets, which is all very odd. So I'm just wondering, does anybody out there know what actually happened in Malacca in 1879 that would make her think that this place was extremely run down and rather tedious? She also, though, said that the gardens of the Stadthaus where she was staying were rather extensive and beautiful. So I'm just wondering, where did they extend to? Because when you go there now, there's a lot of tourists all around, and it's hard to work out where exactly these gardens were. So I'm just wondering if anybody out there could tell us a bit more about the gardens of in front of the Stadthaus.
I think actually the real issue for Isabella is she didn't know what to expect. So she'd just come from Singapore, which at that time was quite crowded and busy, and she'd arrived in Malacca. You see, Malacca was never on Isabella's plans. She'd spent months in the northern regions of Japan, and she was planning to go home to write up her letters and produce a book, and then presumably get funding for her next adventure. But to get back from Japan, she had to go by ship to Hong Kong, and then to Singapore, and then to Ceylon, and then back to the UK. Very long, time-consuming journey. And then while she was in Hong Kong, it was suggested to her that maybe she would be interested in visiting Malaya. And she was given a few letters of introduction in case she took up that offer. And then when she arrived in Singapore, it turned out there was a steamer heading off to Malacca the next day. So she was given 5 minutes to make a decision. Do you want to go to visit the native states in Malaya, these exotic little known states? And Isabella, being the fearsome warrior that she was, said yes. She really didn't have to think too much about it. And that's the issue. Because she didn't think too much about it, she didn't have the right clothes for the climate. She'd just come back from northern Japan, and she had little idea about the place that she was going to.
Terra incognito, that's what she called it.
And she managed to pick up some little articles from the Asiatic Society in Singapore, and she had a map.
And that was it, was it?
I think so. That was pretty much
Basically,
it.
yes, yeah. An introduction to some rather dubious characters as well. The people she stayed with had all been involved in the takeover of Perak and Selangor by the British in the 1870s, and they were all a little bit flaky. And she met some rather extraordinary people, which we shall go into in the documentary.
And the other thing that we'd be interesting to know is from you is if you're planning a travel adventure, would you go completely unprepared? Would you take 5 minutes to make a decision that would be literally heading off to the completely unknown by yourself, going to a place where you have no contacts? Or would you do your homework first?
I don't know, we got married that way, didn't we?
Yeah, but you know, we're more like Isabella, but you know, we're just trying to figure out what today's travellers, the mentality of today's travellers. Are they more like the Isabella Bird of the past, or are they wanting some security in their travels?
Certainly the travel vloggers that we've seen sort of relish this adventurous, unplanned side of things. We don't though, do we? We plan.
We like a bit of planning.
We like a bit of planning. We don't like to get too surprised. We don't like too many people shooting at us. You know. Anyway, so that's today's little broadcast. Like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. And what else do we
look
say?
forward to the next episode.
Oh, and look forward to the next episode. Yes, and please leave all your comments and stuff down below. You know, we do respond. So that's it. Right. Thank you.